So Joe Brand,
Yeah.
you've also mentioned as a big influence.
Mm-hmm.
What's the common denominator between Joe and Gina Yashere and Whoopi Goldberg and all these people?
It's just
for
that,
you?
for me, it's the fact that they may be older than me, but it's the fact that they kept it going. That's the thing, and they're not just picked a selective market.
Yeah.
Like Whoopi didn't just choose black and Jewish people just to be in front of. She chose everybody, like all cultures. Joe Brand, even though she didn't have to make that effort as much as Whoopi, she did in a sense where she broke the barriers of the fact you don't have to look beautiful to be a comedian. Because if you look at the whole history of being a jester wasn't about beauty, it was about deformities and looking different or strange, and where people can laugh at.
Yeah.
You know, not realising that person under the clown has feelings.
Yeah, yeah.
But it doesn't really matter because it's their job.
Well, Joe Brand famously started life as a nurse.
Yeah.
Before going into comedy, and I assume that Whoopi Goldberg and Gina Yashere are also very concerned with mental health and social care.
I think Whoopi also does something charitable for people with mental health over in the other side of the pond. Gina, I think similar circumstances, but more from the gay community.
Yeah.
And the psychologies of life, you know, coming out and stuff.
And you yourself, I mean...
And me, all of them, man. I'm variety. Like, I don't really care. Like, I just want to... With me, I'm not a person who judges on anybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I've performed in front of, let me see, in front of a charitable scene for sickle cell.
Right.
And the person who ran that certain event, she works in BAFTAs.
Wow.
So with me, I didn't get paid for that, and if I did get any sort of money for it, I'll put it in the sickle cell box. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right being paid for a charity thing, unless it's a gala. Then you understand.
But you yourself are unique in the sense that you experience a lot of conditions by the sounds of it. So epilepsy.
Yeah, I'm epileptic, dyslexia, have slight depression, but that's comedians anyway. Then like,
that's a given.
That's a given, exactly. Yeah. Anemic. So like you name it, I've got all these obstacles.
But again, you know, I suppose the question that we have to turn around is, you know, in what way can they be opportunities? And I remember a teacher talking to you about using. What can you just expand on what I can't remember the guy's name. It was expanding on the idea of all the conditions that you experience as a form of comedy material. Yeah.
So I can't remember who said it. Yeah, if it was Peter or Paul. It was two lads who work in the industry. Been working there for donkey's years, and one of them said to me, I think it was probably Peter with the glasses. He said, utilize it, harness whatever you've gone through to the world of comedy. He said, do that for 6 months. Go to a comedy store for 6 months, or any of the other comedy clubs around LA, and just literally talk about that on topics. Because I also mentioned about dyslexia, and I said, I don't write down my stuff anyway. I talk about just real life issues. And he said, hold that, and just paraphrasing, hold that and use that, you know, with you. And I said, okay, that's a very good idea, because it's very rare that even a black girl uses that in the world of media. Yeah. It's mostly just race and sex they talk about, but...
That's interesting because Tandy Newton recently mentioned something about that she doesn't want to be cast as somebody who's being
and that's
abused.
the whole thing, it's connected with the casting.
I mean, I find you unique and fascinating as a performer because you have so many constituencies that of experience that you can call back on, and I've looked at some of your stand-up work, and it's really noticeable how you engage in a conversation with your audience, and these are various audiences that you've been performing in front of, from various backgrounds, various ethnicities, and I suppose it's that you can find the universal kind of comedy out of all of these strange alien experiences that we seem to be experiencing now in the modern world, in the inner city.
Yeah.
And if anything, I've always perceived a strength coming from the conditions that you experience, because it's because you've had to go through those things. I mean, that's the basis of.
That's life.
Yeah.
In itself, isn't it? I mean, if.
Wow. She dropped that.
Yeah.
That's life.
That's life.
Yeah. Continue.
Yeah, and the thing is, sounds all preachy now. Yeah, the thing is, with life in general, people do have their ups and downs. But with the whole fact of comedy is to make them laugh, no matter what avenues they've came into the building with.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed now, with generations now, with age, a lot of people around my age or younger, they come into a comedy club, but they don't come in for the laughter. They're now being selective, which I think is a big no-no. Because you can't choose on what the comedian's going to speak about.
No.
I don't think they have the right to do that. And I'm starting to know, in my experience so far, I'm starting to notice that they want a specific comedian.
Marketable.
Yeah.
Different subjects.
Yeah.
I get it.
I like surprises. So I like to see like either a fresh face or an old face say something new. Or something you didn't expect.
Doesn't matter what's in the package. As long as there's a package.
As long as there's something in there. Yeah, there's some sort of goodies in there. If you don't like it, at least you remember it. You know, because it's all about remembering.
Yeah.
You see, so if you don't like that joke, at least remember who said that joke.
Yeah.
And you remember their name. That's the whole reason of fame. Now, you hit lyrics on it, fame.
She's dropping truth, ladies and gents.
I haven't said that in ages, but yeah. Yeah, it's things like that, because now people are getting all icky-picky about it. It just goes to show how sensitive society's become.
I love the term icky-picky.
Yeah.
I just love it.
It's really
But I think there's the fact that it becomes more and more about branding and more about things that you can drop into boxes and say, this is what sells to this constituency, this is what sells. The marketisation of it does rather detract from just the material itself.
Yeah.
It's
so sad. Like, you say, for instance, there's a comedy show going on and there's 6 people on the bill. So you've got your 2 opening ones, who probably do like about between 5 and 10 minutes. Then you've got the other 2 who are in the middle, just after a quick break, who do about 10 to 20. And then you've got your compare who's also included, so that's including the 6, and then your headliner. People are coming in for the headliner. Which I hate that, because during the time those other, say, 4 or 5 have been performing and busting their balls on the stage, you've got people on there going, oh, who's on now? And then they're just talking to each other. At the same time, as a comic, you can't really complain too much about that, because it's your way of breaking the wall. That's the whole thing about comedy. You've got to break that wall and let them hear you say like you mean it. Because I ain't gonna lie, it's even, a few months ago, I got into that same hole again in Camden Centre, where I was on first, and oh my god, the audience was not settled at all. Trust me, the show was going on late anyway, and people didn't have their beverages yet. So when they're sober, oh my god, they're not settled.
Different, but that how was that as an experience?
At the time, it was like, oh man, sure, you feel like SHIT. Can I swear? Yeah, you feel like doo-doo. And, but afterwards, when you look back on it, you do some self-reflection, which goes to show you're very mature as a performer, and you're still passionate. You look back and laugh at it, because you go, bro, bloody hell, I really thought I was big cheese, because you got to remember, I came up from LA. LA was nice.
Oh, yeah.
And I told you all this. I said, I went to LA.
You did a gig in LA?
Yeah, I did a few gigs, yeah.
How were they?
Flappers Comedy, Comedy Store, not in the big main stage, but the smaller ones.
Yeah.
And there was another one, Ha Ha Comedy Club. And there's quite a few more. And also outside.
Oh, wow. How did they take it?
It was brilliant, because look, I think you know what it is. Because I'm an English girl, they're going, oh my gosh, you're from England? Wow.
That's another unique thing you'll bring.
Yeah. So it's something different.
Yeah.
And the stuff I'm talking about, like I had to teach them what Brexit really meant.
My favourite, there's a wonderful video of a Welsh MP saying, what he meant to say was, we will make Brexit a success. Instead he said, we'll make breakfast a success. the whole auditorium pissed themselves. He laughed. Because I think I think the beautiful thing about British humour is that there is, you know, where there's a kind of a self. I think there's a willingness to take the piss out of ourselves more, and a willingness to laugh at ourselves a bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe not amongst every class, but certainly we see the funny side of even the most absurd, ridiculous.
And that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to kind of give to the world, is just laugh at yourself. Your life would be a lot better.
As a form of therapy?
Could be. You know? Because, I mean, comedy is therapy in itself. It's a psychological kind of, I don't know.
Cleansing.
Yeah, so to speak. But,
not for me to put words in your mouth.
No, I'm glad, because he's like my human thesaurus. These big ass words? No, I can't. These words are bigger than my bottom. I really can't do them.
There's a lovely bottom, ladies. So networking. Do you feel? I mean, what do you feel about networking as an aspect of entertainment and arts?
Networking. Oh my gosh, where to start? See, now I'm very good at networking. I could talk to the cows come home. Like I said earlier, I could talk to people on the buses or the trains or something and have a good conversation. But right now I'm nervous about networking. People are trying to put their best foot forward, but not in the best way. Some people can come across too arrogant. Some people can come too desperate. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain way of doing it.
It's a science.
It is.
That's what I mean. I think that's something that, personally speaking, I've understood a lot of people to find challenging. Is this sense of the business side and the artistic side. Now it's, you know, you're starting, but it's a constant process of learning. Yeah.
Do you know how I network? Because I used to do things like network marketing and stuff. And I noticed people do the same pattern, like, hi, how are you doing? Me now, I wasn't even like that. I was all like, hey, you're right. I'm like, you're hot in here, innit? Flipping, no. God, like, how was your journey down here? You know, just having a conversation. Like, as if they're my neighbour or something. Right, and if I was a bit agitated and a bit frustrated, I'm like, cool, bro, there's so much people around here, man. They're not even picking up my business card. I think my business card's a bit rubbish. What do you think about this, eh? Like, literally, I'm just having a conversation.
That's better. Yeah.
And then you just build up that friendship in about space of, what, 5-10 minutes of that chat.
Yeah.
To the point where you're meeting them next week for a coffee, and then...
It's more it's more of a chat and a friendship.
Yeah, that's where it starts from. But because people are so hungry to reach to that success point, it's not working. And that's why I think America's a lot better than British when it comes to networking. Because in America, they don't really have that classism that we have. A
bit more closed door here.
Yeah. And you've got to remember, it's about... In America, they don't have a benefit system that we have. So they don't have anything to fall back on whilst we do.
Yeah. If
that makes sense.
Holograms. Lay it down.
Holograms.
Let's talk about holograms. She mentioned some serious subjects on it. I asked her if there's anything in particular.
Yeah, I was coming back from Birmingham, by the way.
Whoa, this is deep, interesting, crazy stuff. Holograms. Let's talk holograms.
And you drink for this one?
In the arts, I presume.
Yes. Now.
And entertainment.
Holograms. I have a feeling if holograms do overtake the whole world of entertainment, like for instance when they did the Tupac concert, well it wasn't a Tupac concert, what it was Snoop Dogg and a couple of rap artists from yesteryear performing, and then they put on Tupac for a hot minute, and that was scary. People loved it, you know, in the crowd, like, yeah, oh my god, yeah. But if I saw that, I'd be like, you know, I'll be
oh Jesus.
Yo.
It is, I mean, yeah. I've never actually met a hologram, but I can imagine it'd be terrifying.
And the thing is,
your Uncle Dave, he's been dead for 10 years. Nice to meet you again.
And the thing is, when I was younger, I used to be like fans of like Doctor Who and Star Trek and all that. And you remember seeing them hologram things?
Yeah.
Just pop up and be like, oh, that's so nice.
Red Dwarf.
You know, Red Dwarf. You think it's only like the theme song of that, like the whole show.
It's great. It's true, actually.
But yeah, holograms. It's good. It'd be good to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like to use it once in a while to get William Shakespeare around and say, "Why did you make my life so hard with these essays?" Like that's the first thing I asked him. But as for dead celebrities, because as we're noticing, let me see, 2016, 2015, if I'm correct, the Grim Reaper had a friggin' Easter. I don't know. He was on some kind of like rage.
It is interesting. It felt like the end of an era.
For many, I was like.
And the beginning, presumably the beginning of another. Because so many left.
Do you know what? I mean, I know it sounds a bit morbid, but I remember on Facebook, I think it must have been Facebook or Twitter, and I know thousands of people are familiar with this. On the social media said, right, if they want to bring someone back again, who would they take? Who's around now? I remember the polls were like, oh, bring back Marvin Gaye and take a recent pop star. And the recent pop star that people kept on ticking off was Justin Bieber.
I think that's a bit much.
I know, but that's the thing. That's them. You can even Google it. I think it's still on there.
I think he's a bit messed up, but purely because he grew up without much reality connection. He just
because remember he started off as a YouTube sensation. See where I'm going?
Yeah.
He started off as a YouTube sensation. Now you can't connect Justin Bieber with Macaulay Culkin because Macaulay Culkin, he was a child actor. And in the whole essence of child actors, especially back in the 70s and 80s, they're always pushed, especially in America.
Right.
Now that's the downsides of America when it comes to little kids working in the industry. They're pushed too much.
Yeah.
And they don't think they have a child psychologist until now. Because back then it was about money, give money to parents, and mummy and daddy will be happy, with you.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't bring enough money, they're not happy with you. You see? Now it's kind of changed. Now there's awareness.
Yeah.
Of in child actors and stuff.
And Justin Bieber is
an
example of somebody who became famous through social media. And it's a huge business.
And he's been spoon-fed that kind of like, you're doing right, yeah, you're okay, yeah, you're correct. And he's been getting that fed to him. Yeah. With beck and call to the point when in his teenage years, he started getting, ruthless and just like, yeah, I can get any girl I want, kind of thing, after he broke up with that other actress. But yeah, things like that,
And do you feel that there's an element of the reality show about that kind of fame? Do you feel...
and with having said reality shows, certain reality shows they have in America, they can't work here. Like, there's a reality show called Love and Hip Hop. They have it in all these different states like Atlanta, Hollywood, and I think there's another one, New York. Yeah, they have that one, and it's based on the hip hop.
Are they on Netflix for the UK?
I don't know if they're on there, but there's no UK version of Love and Hip Hop, because the reason why, my theory is this: you can fit the UK in one state in America 10 times or more, and the world is so small, and that will cause too much conflict, too much trouble. Whilst over there in America, it's huge. If something's going on wrong in this area, you can just move to somewhere else for a few months and come back once everything's settled. Same with another reality show called Cheaters.
Oh,
you see, you can't. Like literally, me ask you, can you picture that being filmed in Britain? Like,
I think there would be more of an outcry. I think it's quite cruel television.
It is.
I suspect there would be more. I don't know. Maybe there would be more of an outcry saying that this isn't right. And I presume parts of America there might be that kind of outcry.
They could, that's what I'm thinking as well. Parts of it, let's say southern states, because they're very.
But it's a very shocking trauma. It's sort of the spectacle of trauma.
Yeah.
And I suspect people who are already a bit traumatised would be attracted to seeing more of that.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we still have that neighbourhood value, like, of, I'm your neighbour, I'm your neighbour, I'm your neighbour, that we all know each other.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of died down a little bit, it hasn't died.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's so small, especially in the capital, in London. If you have a show like Cheaters, like being held in Brixton, like, oh my God. It'll be like, you're on Cheaters,
that would be terrible.
You'll be walking on road every day when you're going to work or something, and you'll be known for that.
That's true.
It's a whole different spectrum. So
Yeah.
when you have that phrase, only in America, it means only in America. They can't bring that half their stuff here, what they do.
Yeah. Do you feel you have any ideas to bring to the US in terms
Yes.
of entertainment?
Yes, can we bring more British people up there? Because when Samuel Jackson made his little saying of like, oh, these British actors get paid, you know, half the cut of what we get paid for. Yeah, of course, we're not greedy, are we? We want to go over there and do something.
It's better to go over there and do something than not get paid here.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, right, the pound is still stronger than the dollar. Let's not forget this now.
Thank God. Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time?
10 years time. Now 10 years, I'll be 35 going on 36.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, yeah, 10 years time, hopefully have 2 children, a boy and a girl.
2.
And, you know, having...
It's very specific.
Having a few, yes. And having a few awards, BAFTAs, Tonys and Oscars under my belt. Making my own web series, comedy series. And, yeah, doing a few TED Talks, yeah.
I love a TED Talk.
TED Talks.
What are your passions then in bringing your work to the US? What are your dreams in terms of your work?
Well, my dream is to hold that legacy of like, when you think of something and you want to do it, just do it. But do it, not just do it, but do it 150%. So if you think you have to do it this way, do it that way, but do it even more. You know, like don't be scared, basically.
Yeah.
You know, to do what you want to do in life. It's not just in the industry, also of anything, any job or any career you want to do. And if you do see an obstacle, tell someone.
Acknowledge it.
Yeah, don't keep it to yourself. What people keep doing, they keep keeping it to themselves, and like, oh, see, I can't get a job because I'm black. If you think that's a problem, tell someone, report it. You know what I'm saying? And they will help you. That's the problem with society as well. We're too proud to ask for help.
That's interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. I think there's an element of truth in that.
Yeah, and that's why not many people are getting somewhere to where they want to be, because they're not asking for help.
That is a whole can of worms.
Oh, yeah.
That is very interesting, actually. I think there is a lot of that.
You see? And that's why I'm saying with the whole networking thing, it's either there's arrogant or you look too desperate. So it's like...
yeah, totally. And I think I think the friendship thing really... That's the only way that I've managed to understand it, really.
Yeah.
You're making friends.
Exactly.
Where can we see you next?
Where you can see
what
me
kind
next?
of work? You're online. What's your Twitter?
Okay, well, Twitter is Variety D. D for Delta, not D-double-E, I'm not a rapper. Yeah, and all together, no space.
And your other social media?
My social media is Instagram, Variety D, and Facebook, Variety D. But I've got most of my private Facebook page, Dominic Variety Davis. You can still inbox me a message, I'm not too fussed. Because my page is full.
Oh,
5,000 people, wow.
Crazy.
I feel like Jesus.
No.
No.
and I can testify that there's a wealth of footage of Variety's work. And
Yeah, on
comedy. Very
YouTube.
funny.
Oh yeah, check my YouTube page, Variety D as well. I'm going to be coming up with some new stuff soon this season, so watch this space.
Cool.
And yeah, like, if you guys are in Britain or in the hearts of London, I'm going to be doing a gig in Luton next month. I think it's the 5th of May, if I'm correct. But it's all on my Instagram and Facebook, because I've all the details. Empowering women, yes.
Yes. And on that note, ladies and gents, thanks for tuning in to HOULIHAN Chats with Variety Davis. Peace out.